I woke up to the smell of fresh bread and eggs, something I hadn't smelled in years. For a split second, I thought I was dreaming, because the last thing I remembered was limping home bruised, exhausted, and broken, wondering how much longer I could survive like this. Then I heard her voice from the kitchen. Calm. Steady. Familiar. It was my boss, and she was making breakfast for my daughter. I never imagined my life would shrink into survival mode. Once, I had plans, big ones. A happy family, a stable career, laughter filling the house. But life doesn't always ask for permission before it takes everything away. My wife passed away suddenly 3 years ago, leaving me alone with a 6-year-old daughter and a heart that never quite healed. From that day on, I became both father and mother, provider and protector. Even when I barely had the strength to protect myself, most mornings began before sunrise. I'd quietly get out of bed so I wouldn't wake my daughter, make her lunch, iron her school uniform, and leave a note telling her how proud I was. I never wanted her to see how tired I was, how my body ached from long shifts and extra work. I worked under a demanding boss, a woman known for her discipline and high standards. To everyone else, she was cold and distant. To me, she was intimidating, and I assumed she barely noticed me at all. That night changed everything. On my way home, I took a shortcut through a poorly lit street to save time. I was already late. My daughter hated falling asleep without me. I didn't see them until it was too late. A misunderstanding, a few harsh words, and suddenly fists were flying. I didn't fight back. I couldn't afford hospital bills or trouble. I just curled inward, protecting my face, praying it would end quickly. When I finally dragged myself home, my clothes were torn, my ribs screamed with pain, and my pride felt completely shattered. My daughter was asleep on the couch, clutching her stuffed toy, waiting for me like she always did. I carried her to bed with trembling arms, whispering apologies she would never hear. I sat on the floor that night, leaning against the wall, wondering if this was the life I was meant to endure. I questioned my worth, my strength, my future. And somewhere between the pain and exhaustion, I fell asleep. What I didn't know was that someone else had seen me that night. The next morning, I woke up on my couch, confused by the unfamiliar warmth in the air. That's when the smell hit me: breakfast. Real breakfast. Not instant noodles or leftover bread. Eggs sizzling, tea brewing, toast crisping. I panicked for a moment, thinking I was still dreaming. Then I heard my daughter laughing. I rushed toward the kitchen, wincing with every step, and froze. My boss stood there, wearing simple clothes instead of her usual sharp office attire. Her hair was loosely tied, and there was a softness in her eyes I had never seen before. She smiled gently at my daughter, who was sitting at the table happily eating, completely at ease. She noticed me and didn't say anything at first. No questions. No judgment. Just concern. I saw you last night, she finally said quietly. You collapsed near your building. I followed to make sure you were safe. I didn't know what to say. Shame rushed through me like fire. I tried to apologize, for missing work, for being weak, for existing. But she stopped me. Being strong doesn't mean suffering in silence, she said. And being a good father doesn't mean destroying yourself. She told me she had grown up watching her own father break under pressure, refusing help until it was too late. She promised herself she would never look away when someone else needed kindness. That morning, she didn't act like my boss. She acted like a human being. She arranged medical help. She adjusted my workload. She made sure my daughter felt safe. And before she left, she placed a small note on the table: "You're not alone anymore." That simple sentence changed everything. From that day on, my life didn't magically become perfect, but it became possible. I learned to ask for help. I learned that strength can be quiet, and kindness can come from the most unexpected places. My daughter learned that even in the darkest moments, goodness can walk into your kitchen and cook you breakfast. And sometimes, the morning after you feel completely broken, is the morning your life begins to heal. This story is for every single parent, every tired soul, every person who thinks they must endure pain alone. You don't have to. Help can come when you least expect it, and sometimes, survival turns into hope with just one act of compassion.